Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we're taking a look at two really useful tools. Two tools that are great in terms of analytics for a competitive World of Warcraft player like us. And I'm somebody who likes to have as much data collected as possible when I play the game, so I could analyze exactly what I did wrong in specific moments. But Warcraft Logs, while it does a great job of collecting the data, it doesn't always make it very easy to analyze. So I was very happy when I found out about these two websites we're going to talk about today. Great tools. Now, maybe you guys have heard about them in the past. I'm just coming to hear about them within the last week or two. And as I was talking about it on the live stream, a lot of people seem to not know about it too. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let's make a video about it. Spread the word for these guys. They're doing a great job. And it really, really helps the community, especially people who are aspiring to raid. So let's hope that these guys can continue to find the interest to do this now and into 8.0 and onward. All right. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the one that's the most interesting to me. It's called Wipefest. And it essentially shows you every single thing that could have gone wrong in a raid encounter, okay? So you could search by your character, which is what I'm going to do now. I'll show you guys how to do it. It's just wipefest.net. The links will be in the description, guys. But anyway, you're going to just, oh, that's the realm, right? So you don't type your name into the realm. I'm showing you guys how not to do it. Very good. It even comes up. You don't even have to finish typing it. Very cool. And then we're going to just type our character's name in, and that's that. All right, so now we have all the parses for my character. As you see, a lot of orange. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of parses to look at. This is every kill from, I guess, this whole tier, which is pretty nuts. So you can click on anything you want. And if you want to see, say, for example, I don't know, one of our kills on certain bosses, you'd be able to do that. But what I find is even more interesting is you could actually search per the log, which is what you really want. So here we have our log from this Tuesday night, the farm. So we're going to take a look at that. You can just type it in the link section here. Just copy paste it and hit the search button and it'll immediately pop up. So here are all our polls from Tuesday night. As you see, we had some trouble repeating on Mistress. What a surprise. But we can take a look at some of the better polls and we'll get a look at exactly what we've been doing wrong. Now, as you see here over on the side, you can actually take a look at everybody's equipped item level too during the encounter, which I think is a really interesting thing to see. This is something that, it is in the logs, but it's nice to have it right in your face when you're looking at it. But anyway, as you're going to see here, it shows pretty much everything. Things to notice are the actual healing CDs. It shows you exactly when they're used to see if maybe they're being used improperly. Like, for example, 32 seconds in, not sure that's the best usage. And of course, it shows you all the deaths. Okay, so I think a yellow, the yellow mark here is one death. Okay, so we had a lot of problems, obviously, at the end of this fight. Looks like that's the reason we didn't kill it. I actually died to crashing wave myself. I think this is probably when we were wiping, though, at this point. So regardless, all of this is entirely customizable, okay, as you're going to be able to see over here. So you can turn it on, right? I think, let's see. So you can turn everything off. So yeah, white means it's off, right? So you could turn anything on specifically. So if we just want to see deaths, we could take a look at it. Now, of course, like I said, I don't know exactly. Probably around this time was when we were saying, all right, just wipe it up. Or maybe we try. I can't remember, actually. This is all a while ago now. So anyway, the early deaths are the ones you're looking at. Phase 2 deaths are definitely the ones that are most noticeable. And those 3 deaths right there are ultimately why we probably couldn't kill the fight that pull. But of course, you could take a look at combat resurrections too, perhaps externals, something like that. Let's see. Let's get rid of all this other stuff. We could see who used externals. So we have some need for bops, which is great to see. All of our paladins using bop, not just 1 or 2. So that's a great thing. It's pretty much used on cooldown on this fight. And of course, lay on hands too, sometimes important. Use it on a Nula. That's curious. Needed to Guardian Spirit Morgraine 2 minutes in. That's surprising. So yeah, stuff like that. Like, I never would have been able to find this info otherwise, right? So I think it's pretty cool. I think this is one of the best tools going right now for raid analysis. And it pretty much tells you everything you need to know. And the best thing about it is this guy is actually... he is like still working on this hard. I saw the thread on the WoW Reddit and I was really impressed. So anyway, if you guys are interested in that, check that out. That's number 1. Number 2 is a tool we're going to go by WoWAudit.com. Okay, so once again, in the description. But now this tool is a little bit more I think this is a little bit more for the people who are a little bit more anal about who they have in their guild and in their raid team, but it's still a really cool tool. It doesn't actually do much for the actual raid time that you spend together, but what it does is it tells you everything you need to know about everything else, okay? So unfortunately, I've already made the account and synced all this up. This is actually pretty complicated to do, guys. And since I've already done it, I don't know if there's a way for me to redo it. I guess I would have to make a new account and everything like that. But if you guys have any questions about it, I could try to answer them, but maybe it's best to contact the people who make the website. It was a little complicated. You had to input all your characters and sync it all up. But in the end, it results in a page like this where you can create a spreadsheet, all right, which is what I've done here. So this is our guild spreadsheet. All right, now I still have some problems with the actual site. I can't seem to figure out how to remove people. I have some people's alts in here that I don't mean to actually have on here. But regardless, the goal of the spreadsheet itself is to tell you everything that was done essentially in and outside of raid, but mostly it seems to be focused outside of raid. Shows you the average item level, which is once again relatively interesting. Shows you the artifact traits, which is extremely interesting if you ask me. As you see, a lot of people in our guild are very far behind. Sub 70 at this point is not good. So if you guys are watching this and you're not 70 yet, you better get that fixed. And then, of course, the mythic dungeons. Now, I think this is the most important one. Mythic dungeons, and some people might care about artifact power and world quest, but I'm not somebody who's worried about that. You know what I mean? However you want to get your AP, I don't really care. But regardless, you can change it over here. There's this historical view setting. You can change it to overall. All right, so you can see overall, even though I've just switched to this character, I've still managed to do 353 mythic pluses overall. I think that's pretty cool. It's a nice little thing to see, but as you know, people, especially Charlie, who's going crazy mode, he plays all day, every day. He's got 941, so that's kind of cool. And then you can see it per week too. So the 5 I did on live stream on Saturday, those are there. That's all I got done this week on this character. So that's pretty cool. But more importantly, as you can see, many people in our guild have yet to do a 10. Now, of course, it is Sunday, so they still have one more full day, but yeah, hopefully everybody will get a 10 done this week. But anyway, that's cool. And then the World Quest 2, you can see the actual AP gained each week. It's quite substantial, you know what I mean? At this point, we're getting to be finding some really high numbers. So people are able to gain, you know, on average over 100K a week. Kind of assuming mostly from World Quest, but potentially also from Mythic Plus. Looks like Charlie's the only one doing tons of World Quests out of that group. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's a great feature. There's also some other stuff here. You can see the actual roster. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I don't know why you would need to see this, but I guess maybe, oh yeah, here's a list of relics. I guess that's kind of cool. You can also see tier tokens, but once again, a couple people on this list are not actually in the raid anymore. It's their alts. Now here's an interesting screen too. It's the overviews and rankings. You can see some of our raiders are not keeping up on enchants, and of course they don't have I assume that's the best gems, because you can also click their name here and it'll show a link, which is really cool. Just hover over it and it opens their WoW Armory link. So it says Jazz is missing gems, but he's definitely not. I guess it's probably because he has this one gem, huh? This 150 gem instead of 200. I assume that's the difference, but regardless, I don't really know. I'm not a big fan of stuff like this. I feel like there's yeah, it's not your conclusive answer to fixing problems in the raid. But one thing that is nice to see is, you know, like I said, the artifact traits of every player, and of course, when people are not doing Mythic Plus dungeons each week. So anyway, that's everything. I think this is a really great, these two features, especially Wipefest is great for raid analysis, and this is great for, you know, guild analysis, making sure that all your players are keeping up to the par that you're requiring. So if you guys have any questions about any of these tools, let me know. Otherwise, I really, really encourage you guys to support these two tools. I think they're doing a great job. People talk about this all the time. In the classic discussions I have, people say like the game used to be so popular that there was like magazines and all this like mainstream publication about it. But in reality, way more people are putting in like non-mainstream effort now than ever. You know, websites like this, they could not have been created about a game that was in 2004 at the level it was at, you know what I mean? But now there's so much data, so many numbers, you know, just Warcraft logs alone. Like, look at all the different stuff here, you know what I mean? There's millions of people using these tools, and we are in the age of information in 2017 like no other. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a good week.